This is another version of the Eiffel Tower. I made a bigger one, a slightly bigger one. You have a few once you get a few more details on this one, but it's exactly the same 3D model as the previous one. And since I've made it bigger, during the printing process there wasn't those strange lines here in the middle of the thing, and we can see, if we look closely in the feet of the Eiffel Tower, then here, for example, when you have less than 45 degrees, you can see that the external structure of the Eiffel Tower is solid and good looking, because it's less than 45 degrees when you have angles, raising angles. But internally you've got some oblique lines, and you can see that when those oblique lines are less than 45 degrees it works, but when they are, for example, lines, oblique lines of 60 degrees or more, you can see that the printer encounters true difficulties to build something that is clear. The best example of it is the arch here. When the printer has to build something like that, it's well printed, but when, for example, you reach an angle that is not 45 degrees, you see here there is a kind of difficulty here. As you can see, the printer makes a little bug because it doesn't know exactly on which layer it could build the next layer. So it prints something out, but the filament is just based on something that is totally empty, and this is risky. And each time you build something that is based on angles that are superior to 45 degrees, you take a little risk, and especially when you print in mid-level quality. But well, this Eiffel Tower, when you look at it like that, is successful. Of course, when you look at closer, you can still see those little mistakes. For example, here you can also see some mistakes. For example, there, you see, and it seems that those mistakes they don't come from the nozzle that encounters solid parts. The problem initially happens when the nozzle just pops out some. I could describe it like a kind of a bubble of filament, and this I don't know why. I don't know why it's a bubble, and it's of course bigger than the small millimeters of filament it has to produce. So this bubble is just bothering all the printer, because when the bubble appears, it's, for example, it appears here, you see, and after that it's solid. So the printer head tries to print something on the top of it, but it encounters the bubble because the bubble is large, and in fact the line is thin, but the bubble is too large. So the printer encounters something solid, and after that the problem that the head scratches on the top of the last layer. There is a scratch. And this is dangerous because when something, for example, is scratching, when the Eiffel Tower is in this position, the Eiffel Tower starts to shake like that, and the first position of the Eiffel Tower are in danger. They start to be unglued like that, and after that the head there is a shock. There is a shock with the head, and you take lots of risks that the printer head just moves the object out of the plate like that. Even if you build some raft around the Eiffel Tower, you still have some risks that the object is ejected from the printer because of this strange bubbling phenomenon. I didn't see it before because it's a hard thing to see. It happens anytime. Sometimes it never happens. Sometimes it happens, and you don't know why it happens. I think that it's possible that there is a kind of a pressure inside the head, and this pressure makes some. There are some gas. I don't know. I must make researches about it. Or it comes from the filament. The filament, the natural PLA filament, produces this kind of bug. Maybe it's too fragile. I don't know. I have to investigate.